So I wanted to go ahead and start recording so that we don't miss any really good conversation. But really, my point is just to wrap up the class here because this is our last time hanging out, unfortunately. Talk about anything that you have, any questions that you have related to the final creative brief or to the final exam, which will be just like the other exams, or anything else in general. So it's up to you guys.
Okay. I want to talk about the creative brief.
Of course.
Questions.
Okay.
My thing more is I have it in front of me. For the instructions, like if I make a PowerPoint, should like on each slide, should I have like executive summary, basically like what I'm going to turn in as the paper with all this stuff on there, plus that corresponds with each thing, the challenge, target audience, psychographics, features and benefits.
You don't have to do exactly what's done for the printed version of the paper. So my idea, and we talked about this a little bit in the first one. I know, Elena, you had a question about this too earlier this week. My idea behind giving you an option between either the copy or either the presentation is that some people may not feel comfortable or even desire to give it a go to do the creative route yet, right? So that's completely understandable. This is your first time taking advertising, or you're still trying to wrap your head around how to write a pitch or a slogan, whatever. That's cool. So maybe you just come up with some ideas and then flesh them out. The presentation or the multimedia component would literally be whatever it is that you would use if we were in an in-person class and I said, today's presentation day, you guys, and you had to come in and give a presentation, you'll just turn that in as a file, a second file instead. So you can also be a little bit more creative because of course you're online. So you can have different tools if you want to make a YouTube video, or if you want to make a Zoom video, or if you want to do a PowerPoint, you can absolutely do a PowerPoint. You could do a presentation. Thinking about how you would package your idea if you were to stand in front of an actual client and say, hey, I have this great idea. I've done all this research. Here's what I have to say. So that could absolutely look like similar headings, just with the highlights, right? Of course, I don't want you to copy and paste stuff from your paper and just slap it on a PowerPoint and just say, ta-da, because I'm going to look for a little bit more effort and creativity than that, to be honest. But it will be related, but not exactly the same content.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot. With that, I am going to do the PowerPoint. Should I do like campaigns? Like I have like a vision of like commercials, digital ads, a bunch of stuff. So if I have the paper with all this stuff on there for the assignment that I turn in, and I do the PowerPoint on there, should I do because I've got a big chunk of it down already. Mm-hmm. Like I have, okay, this commercial, I want this shot and this and this.
If you have anything that you're talking about, and say, if I was to come in and give a presentation and say, based on, past campaigns, I might pull up a still shot from a past campaign and say what I liked about this shot and what I didn't like about it. Or you can create like a visual storyboard or sorts that we talked about in our text and included on a slide, and say, even if it's just your basic, pick stitch drawing, and just trying to pull in together some concepts. If you've ever seen like a mood board when they're getting ready to design, or something like a Pinterest, you can do that in a visual aid, right? And tell them, this is kind of the direction I'm going. I'm thinking funny. I'm thinking this. I'm thinking that. And it doesn't have to be spot on what you want to be at the end, but it can give a really good idea as you walk through the concept.
And can it be like 5 or 10 concepts that all connect? Like if you are watching a commercial, this is the commercial. If you are seeing a YouTube video, this is on there. If you're just looking at a magazine, this one's on there. And they're all different, but they might connect with the same taglines or the
Absolutely.
same.
That's what a campaign is. If you've been reading, right? If you've been following along.
I'm just making sure that I can do like all this, and you're not just like, yo, you're supposed to focus on one. Because I was like,
No,
Okay.
if it is, as long as, so say if you have a creative approach that encompasses like 6 different platforms, but it all goes toward that one key objective that you were saying that you're interested in. There's someone joined and a screen moved around. But as long as it's going to that same key objective that you said,
Okay.
what I'm interested in, then it all makes sense. And that's why we have so many different kinds of support medias, things that extend the campaign, going from social to mobile, whatever the case may be. Of course, touch on it as long as it all ties in together. Like, don't give me 5 different campaigns.
Right.
But if one campaign, it's absolutely common for it to have YouTube, TV, mobile, responsive, all that other stuff.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Someone else just joined. Hi.
Hi, this is Shay.
Oh, hi, Shay. We're talking about the final creative brief, and I'm answering any questions that you guys have about that first.
Okay, I joined a little late, so I don't know if anybody had asked the question already. Is this in first person or third person?
That's a good question. Well, I tend to prefer not necessarily third person versus first person, but just an academic or professional voice. So what that means is that occasionally I am all about the I use my I in research. I use my I very specific, but I don't use it casually, right? I don't just like jump in a paper and and I think this, I think that, or I think this. If you use it, it better be good, right? And also third person is kind of sometimes too. So just think about, it's really a skill if you can think about ways to even rewrite your work without even thinking about a person at all. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I do it all the time. So I might say, oh, I could do this. And then I might say, one could do this. And then I say, okay, let me take that out. And then I start and say, the objective of the campaign is this, right? And so we took out we take out we take out everybody else, and we're only talking about the content and moving forward with ideas so that it's really not even a person or a perspective that's involved. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I have, if you look at, let me see if any of my writing, some of my writing, I do use the I in other places in my writing. Like I said, I'm very specific with how I put that I in there, and I'll take any kind of personal things out, and you can just see, it's really just playing with the sentence structure. And you can also just do a first draft and then go back and reread it like a day or so later and look at all your sentences and how they read and say, oh, I think there's another way that I can say that in a more professional way, right? Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. Any other questions about the brief, you guys? No? No? Okay. Any questions about the final exam? Super easy? Easy peasy? Okay, yeah, because you guys are doing good. Like, I have probably all A's in the class. All right, so there wasn't really anything else left to talk about. Do you guys want to talk about wrapping up the course? Any lingering, burning questions about advertising, or where do we go from here? I think I put on your syllabus that I recommend you guys read the last chapter. Did you guys see that? Mm-hmm. So the last chapter, this survival guide, if any of you are interested in like kind of putting this to practice, you can read the survival guide, and it talks about getting your first job in advertising and working in advertising and doing some of the things that we've been talking around in this class. So you can read that, or you can ask me anything. No? No? Louise? No?
No, ma'am. Thank you. Not at this time, though.
Okay, well, I just wanted to, let's see, because we have, what time is it? Yeah, we've only been chatting for just a few minutes, but if you guys feel comfortable going forth and finishing the semester strong, then I'll let you guys go forth.
For this
part, I did have one more question.
Okay.
This is Shay. Okay, the question about the media part, the PowerPoint, which is probably where I would focus on, the PowerPoint. Is that PowerPoint? That PowerPoint is mostly like this, how you kind of creative briefing in a PowerPoint form. Is that what I'm thinking? Am I thinking that properly?
It's kind of, well, we literally just answered that question. So when I put the recording online, you'll see. But no, it's not the literal parallel to your creative brief. It's supposed to be a compliment. So you guys, your comm majors, you should know by now, and this is, I like to reiterate that, of course, most of you are on your way out or really close to graduating, how to use that visual aid as a compliment to a really stellar presentation, right? So using it, pulling it all together, and how you would present your idea. But there's a better explanation about 3 minutes ago. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had emergency phone call. Sorry.
Fine. Elena, you had another question?
No, mine was kind of similar. So I think I understand now better.
You think?
Yeah, I think I'm good now. Now I've got it.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions about registration?
You'll see me in the summer.
Oh, you're taking classes with me in the summer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yay. Okay, so just dropping that. If you have not registered, registration just opened yesterday. Make sure that you guys are registering unless you're graduating. I'm teaching a few classes. I put them all on Blackboard, of course, but just make sure you register for something, even if it's not my class. And also do your student evaluations. You should have gotten a link yesterday. So please fill those out. They're super important. Anything that you would change, anything that you liked, any comment, any critique, it's very valuable information. And we need you guys to fill it out so we can know how to do it better the next time. So I encourage you guys to do that. Anything else? Someone else just joined, but we'll have the replay. I think we're wrapping up early because everyone seems to be in a good place. Yes, okay, all heads are nodding, so I feel good about that. Well, you guys have a great night. And if you have any more questions, I'll have office hours again on Thursday in my usual time. And of course, next week with classes being out, it'll be a little bit different, but feel free to just email me and we can still set up a one-on-one or a phone call or whatever we need to do so that we can get wrapped up. Okay? All right, you guys have a great night.
Thank you.
Thanks to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.